Now, when it comes to ETFs in the general, when it comes to Warren Buffett and the S&P 500, I invest in the VOO. That is the Vanguard S&P 500 index fund. This is one that Warren Buffett was saying 90% of your portfolio, that's right, 90% of your portfolio should just be in an index fund like the S&P 500. And of course, when you think of the longevity, he has been betting on it and he has been doing incredibly well. Even if you look at the fund this year, you're up almost 30% in the last 12 months. That is huge. I know it's not traditional and it's not going to be every year that we're seeing it, but when you start looking at the average of something like that S&P 500 fund, where you can hold that ETF, you can put money into that ETF on a consistent basis. It is going to grow. It is an index that is market cap weighted, meaning you're going to have the most exposure into the high tech sector. So we're looking at your Apples, your Google, Nvidia, a lot of those really large mega cap tech companies are going to be the majority of the purchase when you're getting into the S&P 500, but that is by design. That is the market, that is the industry. When you start looking at the index is rebalanced on a quarterly basis, but when you start thinking of overall investing, it is super easy to go ahead and invest in something like the S&P 500 index and then just set it and forget it. Now, for me personally, I do this and I build a 3-fund ETF portfolio. I've done this for an incredible long time, honestly. When you look back about 10 years, I've been doing the same thing. So I invest in something that is just a core ETF, which of course is going to be our S&P 500 index. I invest in something that is going to be a growth, like the VUG, the Vanguard Really Growth Fund, getting a lot more exposure to the tech side. Now, between both of those, having the tech side, having the exposure to that S&P 500, I know there's an overlap, and again, that is by design. And the final one of the 3 ETF portfolio that I put it into is something that is going to produce income, that is going to be something that does produce dividends, and the dividends are going to be reinvested right in back into the portfolio, meaning that if anything's underperforming, it is going to invest it right back in there, picking something like the HD, which is something that I love and I personally invest in when it comes to investing. And again, very basic overall portfolio. Definitely want to break out and talk about these ETFs because a lot of people have a lot of questions, and ETFs are the only way that I invest. I do not buy and I do not own any individual stocks in their entirety. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think, and I'll catch you in the next video.